Hey, what? Mark, guess what?
Hey,
We are live. Yes.
hey,
What is
buddy.
up, everybody?
It's the Mega Man.
Mega Man. Yeah, that's right. Welcome to this special podcast, man. Me and Shermdog set this up just yesterday, pretty much. Well, the other day or whatever. But yeah, man. Welcome everybody. And man, what a season it's been, right? Mark, bro, Moto America. What an epic season this year.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was an awesome season. Yeah, had a lot of action. The baggers were a lot of fun to watch this year. They keep growing, dude. They're getting more races next year. It seems like that's like the fastest growing thing out there right now. And yeah, they're just they're nuts to watch them come down the straightaway. I'm telling you, if you've never once you see it on TV and then you see it in person, you're like, God, especially Daytona. Like they were going as fast as the super sports were.
Man, listen, I love the baggers class. And actually, when I was in BSB at Cadwell, um, freaking my son just said, "What's up, Dad?" My son, dude, yes, that's awesome. What was that? Yeah, so Steve Hicks, man, I was sitting there talking to Steve Hicks, and he told me that he's bringing some of the bagger class over there to BSB, man. So yes, the baggers is growing exceptionally well, and
Oh,
I'm
so the
happy to
baggers are
see
going
it.
to run over there in BSB?
Yes, the
No
baggers will
way,
be over there. I'm not sure if it's going to be 2024, but they're in talks with Moto America, and yeah,
dude. I'm telling you, that's where a lot of the money's at. I'm setting this up so I can see the comments too. Um,
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
that's nuts. That's good for them though.
Man, listen, but that just tells how popular it is, right? Like, I it's grown so much that a lot of people in BSB when I was over there, that's one of the main things they talked to me about when I was going around talking. And, of course, I always asked about Moto America, but the number one interest was the bagger class. So,
Well,
yeah,
it brings in a ton of money. You figure about it. I mean, a lot of people own Harleys. Like everyone I
it
work with.
is.
I've been getting these guys to races. And hey, anything that helps, get them in. And then they really look at the super bikes, and then they're really blown away by those bikes. Um, like I said, it's going to help the sport grow,
It is.
and they're pretty impressive to watch them come down the straightaway. Like I said, sitting there at Jersey there in the rain, watching people's eyes as they were coming down there, backing it in for turn one. It's like it's nuts.
It is. It's listen, the bagger classes, it's proper mega. But you know what? Before we get into this, man, I just want to give a big shout out to Jillian Carrera, his dad, Michael Carrera, SFL Mini, that whole organization, Rick Glover, man, all those guys, Keith, Isaac, Andrew, man, the list goes on and on. You guys are proper mega, and what they're doing for the sport is it's amazing. Championships, our kids are coming up through that organization, right? So huge shout out to them. And all my boys, Jake Marsh, everybody in BSB. Man, all you guys had a proper mega year. I'm proud of every single one of you. I mean, I could sit here in 10 minutes and just name everybody, right? So I'm just gonna give one major shout out to everybody. I love all you guys. You guys are proper mega, super amazing, and yeah, I'm glad to be part of it. So,
What a series over there, huh? Congratulations to, like you said today, Tommy Bridewell.
dude, listen, I don't know if anybody's watching this here in America, watched it, but man, I say it all the time. BSB is my favorite race organization. Not taking nothing away from Moto America, and the reason why I say that is, dude, their super bikes they hardly have any electronics at all. So it's all down to the rider. They're riding 240 horsepower motorcycles with minimum electronics, versus the aliens. Everybody else, the let's say PlayStation bikes, everybody else is pretty much riding on. Where you could set traction control and engine braking for every corner and all this. They don't.
Oh, yeah, basically the bike knows the corner's in, and they hold the
Right.
throttle, and they're sitting on top of a rocket until the electronics goes wrong, and Gets the corner mixed up and then you high side because it thinks it's in the wrong corner. It gives it too much power.
Oh, dude, listen, dude, this race today, I'm telling you guys, dude, the Superbike, the third race, down to the last lap, dude, by half a point. It was, dude,
Crazy.
I can't even tell you guys how excited I was and how proper it was. It was,
You get excited?
just a little
No.
bit, right? Yeah. Oop, I accidentally touched my mic, but yeah, it was what emotions, right? Because obviously, a lot of people know, Tommy lost his brother, and then, what happened to the team owner over there, and at BY's or Ducati. So, for them to turn around and win the championship and 1-2, and this whole story behind the season, right, where the teammates they clash and butt ahead. So we had a proper like love-hate relationship. That's what we're missing in a lot of series, right? Is that, but at the end of the day, it was all hugs and kisses and
that's a heck of a team. That's where Shaky won his championships too.
I'm a huge fan of Shaky Byrne. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Shaky. I had a proper conversation with him too. He's a special human being for sure. But yeah, man,
I finally got to meet him at Daytona for the first time.
I know. And when you sent me the picture, I was like, oh, I'm so jealous right now. Right. And then I ended up going out to Cadwell and meet him. And it was proper, man. It was, it really was. But yeah, man, that whole series, man. So I get asked a lot. I'm going to say it. So it's all free to watch, but you got to watch it while it happens live, right? If not, it'll be just reruns or have to wait to go on YouTube. But it's Bennett's British Superbike.com. That's it. And you just scroll down and say live timing, live, viewing. You just click on it. Boom, there it is. You're welcome.
Yep.
You guys are welcome.
There you go. Woo! Say hi to Erica. She's watching. Erica Wolf.
Erica Wolf, listen, that whole family, Ryan and them, I can't wait. I'm super excited to have him on the podcast. He is man, big shout out. I love them guys. As soon as we met, it was just positive energy.
I still have her full thinking I'm from Southie, Massachusetts.
She'll
probably remember that underneath our tent.
What is up, Erica? How you doing?
I tell you, give a big shout out to Phil and Lauren Hart. They help sponsor that bike, and they're an amazing couple. If you ever got to meet them, if you haven't, you definitely got to meet those guys. Just amazing people. To even sponsor another racer. I mean, Phil was going in the stock 1000 class, but I know he got getting ready for GNF.
Yep. Erica, they're getting right. They're getting ready to go to. So listen, I already know what's going to happen. You guys going to go out there and get that W for us, right? Yeah, absolutely. Tell Ryan to stay positive and put out that positive energy and don't forget the most important thing: pin the gas, right?
That's
absolutely.
Right.
So, yeah, man, it was Moto America. We'll go back to that. It was a proper season 2 there, right? Of course, Jake Gagne, as we all know, does Jake Gagne things, right?
Yeah, he's like Superman. He does, he doesn't get he doesn't get razzled. I mean, he's just like calm and cool. Like I don't, he gets behind a little bit. He's like, yeah, well, we'll catch up, and he's always in control.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Cam to come back. I think
Me
he's
too.
Peterson, of course. I think he's ready to go.
I think he is too. I had a conversation with him there in Jersey.
Yeah,
it was good. Listen, big shout out to my son Rossi Simcoe, who's watching this right now. That's sitting at Longhorn with my mama and Justin. Rossi. Yeah, what's going on? Big shout out to my boy. He's a big supporter of the podcast, and you guys already know he's Hayden Rossi. There's nothing else to say. So, yeah, that's it. I love you, boy, for real. So yeah. But yeah, man, listen, Cam Peterson, I'm glad that he'll be back. I think he'll be back because it's hungry. I mean, he's super hungry, and he's there to win too. So
now he's got that problem fixed. Hopefully, he'll be able to get out there and finally ride and not be in so much pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he will. And it's listen, I tell people like this when it comes to Gagne too, right? When you got a rider that just gels so well with that motorcycle and the team. Basically, it's all telepathic. He don't barely even have to speak. They already know by his looks and his actions, right, on what he needs. Man, that's a hard combination to beat. You know what I'm saying? It really is.
Yeah.
Cam Peterson has that same thing too. Yeah, unfortunately, he just had a couple injuries that hindered him, but yeah, he'll come back even stronger. And yeah, I'll put him up there for a title contender next year for sure.
Yeah, and I tell you what, got to give props and big shout out to Max Flinders. Boy,
Max the Yellow Flash Flinders.
I've been following him forever, and yeah, this guy, his dad. You know, when I tell people, you know, people are really surprised that all these riders don't get paid. I'm like, most of the people in the paddock are paying to race, and it really blows people away that's never been to a race. And I said that Max has just been in there, and as you notice during the years, he's starting to slowly come up to the, you know, getting better results, a little bit better equipment every year, and for him to get that podium on the bagger was unbelievable.
It was proper.
Yeah,
I was so happy
he won
for
the
him.
championship.
I know.
You know, everyone was so in his corner. Couldn't be a nicer guy, more popular guy. Always has time for fans. You know, which, you know, almost all those racers do. You know, it's not just Max, but they that's what makes the sport so special compared to any other sport. You know, they're all accessible. And these guys pay their money and they can come through there, and you know, these guys handle it really well too. I mean, listen, you've been there. You sit around some of these riders and some of the things these people say. You're like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, I can't believe like somebody would say something, you know,
right.
like they do, and they handle it really well.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It was, man, dude, to see him win, I was so happy for the Yellow Flash Flinders, man. He's we had him on the podcast, and as soon as I seen him, man, he obviously, I was like, "What's up, Flinders?" You know, blah blah blah, hugs, and he's like, "Dude, I want to come back on." I'm like, "Bro, yeah." So we're gonna have him back on too. It's gonna be awesome talking to him about how he transitioned into the whole Indian class, and still you know, racing the super bikes and what it takes to switch between the two modes, right? Because I'm sure it's a little bit different, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I'll tell you, the owner of the team came up to me after the race, and he said, "Shermdog, I got my CFE hat and I put it on." And he said, "I knew I was going to win." So
That's awesome.
I forgot that he got one at I think it was at Daytona, but yeah, he put it on, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, especially in Winter Circle. I mean, it's fun to be able to pick them up and just have some unbelievable.
Share that emotion, right? That raw emotion.
Yeah,
you know,
because this has been a long time for him. I mean,
right. That's what I'm saying.
Always
It's
pushed and pushed and pushed, and you know, to finally get rewarded and get up on that podium. You know.
No, you're right. It's that's what I love so much too about like the junior cup in the lower categories, because when them kids, man, when they win, oh man, the emotions, the raw emotions is just it's overwhelming, and it's proper. Even when it goes bad, they come in and they cry, and it's tears of pain, right? And it's
Yeah.
But I love that part of our sport, right? I think it's what separates us. But you had touched on, and you made a good point, and I say this all the time. A lot of people say, since I've been over there to BSB, how does it compare to Moto America? Man, listen, our racers are I think if they come over here and we all race together, obviously we'd have some advantages because we knew our tracks. But I'm sure some of them would still win, and same thing for us over there, right? They would obviously have the advantages, and some of our boys would go over there and win. But the main difference is what separates Moto America from any other race organization I've ever been to. Is that everybody's accessible. You don't have to have a $300 pit pass, or this know somebody to get a ticket, or whatever, right? Just to meet people. Everybody's fully accessible. But I think if everybody else followed that, I think the organization would be better, right? Because us as fans, Sherm, CFE, right? You guys know, you guys been doing it for so long. we go there, and one of the main reasons why too is to physically see these guys and maybe get a picture, or if you're into autographs, get something signed. So
yeah, just to support them, get people into the races. Everybody knows the CFE tent, and they come by, have a beer.
right,
Well,
I can
shout out to
absolutely.
Lauren Winkler's on. She's the one that Lauren Hart. She's the one that helps sponsor her, and Philip helps sponsor Ryan's team. So,
Oh,
like I
nice!
said,
Big
they're
shout out.
what really
Yes,
amazing couple. I'm telling you, if you've never met a
yes.
more amazing couple.
Big shout out to. I don't know, man. I don't know.
They're
I
on
can't.
they're on the level of the lackeys. Like when you
Okay.
talk about amazing couples, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would be an honor to meet him. I'm not sure if I did meet him when I was there because I hung out with Ryan and Erica and his dad, for a little bit. It was just us in the trailer, and then coming by throughout the weekend. I'd say hi and stuff. So I mean, I could have. I met so many people. It was amazing, right?
Yeah.
I try to remember everybody's name, but I can't. You know what I'm
But we do
saying?
have to give a big shout out to Dustin Coiner.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Track
Big shout
days.
out to
This
Dustin.
guy was a beast. The ride he just did
I
on
know.
his bicycle, I'm like, this
Spartan.
guy's crazy.
I love it. I think
I
it's
mean,
awesome.
nuts.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and big shout out to you guys for giving us Pin the Gas a shout out on his podcast. Yeah, man, Dustin's an amazing person, man. We chat quite often. He invited me to come out there, which I still need to do and do
Well,
some
that's
track
he
days
invited
with him.
both of us, so that's what I'm saying. I haven't been on the
Yeah,
track in like 6 years.
yeah, it's been a
Although
while for me
Bison,
too.
I got measured for a suit, and so on the off season here, I'm going to get my suit, and we'll make it a pin the gas suit.
Yeah, dude, that
And
that would be an honor.
um, yeah, like I told him, I said, well, I have been on the track in like 6 years. I put training wheels on.
That's all right. Would you just hey, listen, you just wear an
So it'll
orange
be me
shirt
and
like
you.
me.
We'll have
Yeah,
to do this when you and I go out there together. We'll have some fun.
absolutely.
We'll do
Yeah,
the
because
podcast.
dude, yeah, absolutely, we will. And you're right.
I
Big
just need
shout
to
out to
drop
Robert
a
Lackey and
little
him.
bit of
Me too,
oh,
dude. I need to lose a little bit of weight with you, bro.
at
So
my age,
I'm
I'm
with
I'm
you.
lucky if I can try to lose it. Lose it, I'm like a
Oh, you'll be
grandpa
able
now.
to. Nah, you'll be able to. Just fast. You should start fasting. It helps. So, but yeah, big shout out to Robert Lackey and
Oh
Tosh,
yeah,
man. I mean, they
Tasha,
are
yeah, and Bison, yeah.
such amazing dude. They cooked us dinner. It was I love you,
I'm
Robert and
telling you, they're the
Tosh.
type of couple. If they had like the last meal sitting there and that was their last meal, they would offer it to you.
Yeah, they
I mean,
would.
that's just the type of people they are.
Yeah,
You just don't
absolutely.
find people like that today. You
No,
know,
you don't. It's
everybody's
hard.
about themselves and
It is. Or they're
what can
fake.
I do? And yeah, it's all about me, me, me.
Or what can I
And
gain from this?
right, yeah, I'm gonna do you a favor, and I'm gonna use that as a
100.
marker
Yeah.
to when I need something, I'm gonna you know,
I'm gonna collect.
yep.
Yeah.
But not, yeah, they're the old school. They don't build them like that anymore. That's for
No,
sure.
no, they don't, man. And you're right. I actually need to hit them up and get measured. I need to because I want to get me a custom suit made too. Because I need
I'll
a
tell
new
you what,
suit.
really affordable, and yeah, for what I'm gonna do, it's perfect. You know
Yeah,
what I
me
mean?
too. Right. So everybody go check out Bison and Robert
Yeah.
Lackey. Yep.
And if you need a KYT helmet, get hold of Dustin Coiner.
Yep. If you need
We just got
KYT,
the new NZ race carbon
where's it
fiber
at?
shell. Here, I'll get it. Hold on, just over here.
Yeah, go get it. Because actually, I want to get me a KYT too. I'm just trying to decide on which one, dude. I really love the Enena Bassanini one.
Yeah, they're I'll tell you, they're nice. They're the ECE approved. So they're I'll tell you what, for the price, you're not gonna beat it. That's it right there.
Beautiful. Yep.
So
Absolutely
the
gorgeous.
old,
Got the old, yeah, I love it.
there it is. Track days
Yeah.
for old Dustin.
I need to get you a Pin the Gas podcast sticker to throw on that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, but I mean, super light. Listen, great helmet. It's actually, from what I understand, it's basically a Suomi helmet. From my understanding. Now I could be wrong, but that's what I was told.
Yeah, Suwami. Yeah.
Yeah, when they Comes out of the same factory, I think. So yeah, I've worn it a few times, and
It's
I
beautiful.
really enjoy it. Yeah,
Yeah, he
and
actually brought it to me.
Amy actually has one too. So
Yeah, they do. They got matching ones, and they but Sean Wayne, yes, would be a good mix of both Moto America and PSP together for a special one round a year, right? But every other year they should flip it. We go out there and then they come here, right, for that one off race, just to keep it on even,
the only
playing
problem
field.
is this.
Yeah,
Just trying to
yeah.
get people over there would be so expensive.
Well, that's when we need shout out to Michael Jordan, man. Where you at, bro? You had the U.S. Army and Gatorade, bro. We need you back, man. Yeah, help fund this. That's
Yeah.
what we
The only
need.
problem is, though, this is what so when you start getting like politics and stuff, because people, fans are just like, hey, just do this, and there's always a consequence. So,
Yeah.
like when you get these big corporations involved, then they take over and start making it the way they want. Then they start putting in, it's like I said, we're the last sport. So let me preface this by saying, sport was originally, when we went to a sports game, it was to forget about everything in your life, right? You go leave all your problems at the gate. You went in, you enjoyed your game, you had a fun time, and then you went back into the world, right? Kind of like going on vacation. You just kind of forget about your problems. Everyone's got them, work, stress, and you went in there and you rooted for your team. And of course, back then, everybody was loyal to somebody, and even the players were loyal, which unfortunately that's not the same anymore either, whether it's football, baseball, whatever. But over time, the corporations took over, and now you see like even baseball teams with their on their shoulders now, they're all sponsored by somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody's sponsoring them. Same with football, and now they push their agendas on everybody, which you can bombard it with this, whatever you think doesn't matter, but you get bombarded with this every day, constantly. You're bombarded by it, and then you just want to go to a sports game, whether it's football, hockey, baseball, motorcycle racing, whatever it is, and you just want to forget about it and go have some fun. But yet you go into the stadiums and then you get bombarded by it again. You just can't get away from it. And it gets really frustrating. Well, Moto America, I'm telling you, is the last true sport left. Because you don't see in Moto America all these clauses on the helmets, bikes, whatever. You just go and have fun. It's just go and have a good time. Nobody talks to politics. Nobody's talking causes. And because believe me, you're going to get hit with it when you leave. I'm afraid when you bring these big corporations in, that will change it.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, they're all going to have to wear certain kind of helmets, and they're going to have to put stuff all over their bikes. And then they're really going to have to be politically correct on everything they say. And it just takes away. When they interview players, they're just saying what they probably have to say anymore. Like nobody can even be real anymore because they're so worried if they say the wrong thing, they're going to be out, taken off the team or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing I really love about our sport, though, is that, and I really stress this to people, you can really come and have a good time. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. The Harley riders get along with the super bike
Indian riders
fans.
and the super bike. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the first year baggers, I think, were at Jersey. Nick was in the tent dancing. They had a big sound off. So they had all the bikes in this big tent, and they were doing a stereo competition. And Nick was out there doing his dancing in a stereo thing, and they loved them. All these big bikers with the big beards and stuff, they thought he was the coolest thing ever. So, awesome. Yeah. But that's just the biker community, It
is. That's what separates us from every other sport, right? You could be broken down somewhere on the road on a motorcycle. I'm gonna stop you. I don't know you. Whether you're on an Indian, a Harley, a BMW, it don't matter, right? Yeah.
Well, racing teams give other racing teams parts.
Yep.
They broke apart. True. Would the Yankees give the Orioles a couple bats to bat with that were good bat? Yeah, right.
No.
They're not doing that, but our sport does do that. Of course, our sport's a lot different. You're going to go to one of those games and 99.999% you're coming out alive. Right. It doesn't happen in our sport. So that it brings them closer because of the danger of it.
It does. It does.
And
But
part of the reason CFE was why we got in the winner's circle, because we get in there and these guys are risking their lives for their entertainment, and this is all they can do. Like
yeah,
at a funeral.
yeah.
And that's why we started getting them all riled up. Just, I think originally it was just for those riders to feel appreciated. I mean, these fans just got to come in there and like I said, they would just. I mean, sometimes I
Golf
see it on
clap.
TV. Yeah. Well, I see it
Yeah.
on TV in some other races when we're not there. You don't really hear them at all.
No, you don't.
You go on any of the races that were there and listen to the audio, and I mean, that's all you hear. So, and now
Yeah.
you've taken it to a whole nother level, which is awesome.
Yeah. Take it to a whole nother level. I seen you guys out there in the winner's circle picking people up in Jersey. It was it was awesome. I loved it. It was phenomenal.
And
All
you
the
got
boys were.
initiated at what time? Was it 7 o'clock in the morning? You had to
I
do
can't
a
remember what time it was, but
shotgun and beer?
yeah, it was pretty early. Yeah. I had the proper CFE initiation, shotgun to beer, and yeah, that's what started my day. But man, dude, what an honor it was to meet all the CFE people. It was a long time coming, and the whole weekend we just had
You
a
got
proper
Nick,
time. Yeah,
Chris,
yep,
Timmy, Miguel. They were all there. It was awesome. Yeah.
it was. It was great. It was nothing but hugs and beers, pints,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pints. Yeah.
Good time.
And
Yep, pints. Yep.
yeah.
It was a good time, man. The weather was not cooperating. Everybody knows it was raining and shit. It got better, but then it got worse.
But we still had a great time. I think we lost all 5 of our tents, one right after another.
Right. Yeah.
I think we lost one, then we lost 2. And all 5 tents were gone by the end of the day. By the end of the
Yeah, it
second day.
was.
And
Yeah.
we're standing in the rain and they're still having a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
It's
was
still,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, it's oh, here we go. Erica said Ryan got his CFE jersey in VIR in 2019.
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Well, hey, it was an honor for me, everybody, because if you see my yellow CFE shirt hanging up right here, Shermdog gave it to me at Jersey. And obviously you guys know I wore it during a podcast, but yeah.
Hey, listen, it was an honor to
It's an
finally
honor.
get to meet you as long as we've been talking.
I know.
And it just, like I told you, I'm so glad that your podcast is taking off, and hopefully we do more to help.
Oh, we will.
Like a combined between CFV and Pin the Gas, we can really blow this thing out for
Yeah.
our sport,
We
because
can do it.
what you've done is just taken it to a whole nother level. We do it
appreciate
at the track, and you've just taken it so much farther with social media. And this podcast is gonna go huge. I'm telling you.
I appreciate
mean,
it.
you're doing it. You've got it. That's all I gotta say.
I appreciate it, man. What an honor. It's well, man, what an honor. I mean, it's that's the best way I could say thank you to everybody. It really is. Listen, I just love this sport, right? All of it. World Superbike, BSB, everything, Moto America, and I want to see it all grow and prosper. And everybody knows that I geared towards the kids, right? The up and comers that don't have that voice and that platform, and because they're the future of our sports, right? One day, it'd be an honor to have Gagne on, which I'm sure I will, right?
Oh, he'll do it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure. Yeah. So, but he's there. He's got his 3rd trophy, right? He's got the house and the car and the dog and all that good stuff. Where like Ryan and Jackson Blackman, big shout out to him.
Action Jackson.
Yeah, Action Jackson, baby. Yeah, yeah, dude. Levi Batty, dude. All them guys, every single one of them.
That's great that you give them these platforms, though. Like we talked at the beginning when when you first started Pin the Gas, we had that conversation. I was like, everyone always has the huge names out there, and when you bring in the smaller guys, sometimes it's great to have the big names on there. Don't get me wrong; you definitely have to have those guys, but it's nice to give a voice to the people that are up and coming, so they get some exposure, and people are really interested in seeing those people too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's great that you're giving them this kind of exposure, because now, I mean, your podcast is, worldwide.
It is.
I mean, you've got people all over.
I do.
I mean, and it's such a short
We
time.
do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It's and hey, listen, you guys stay tuned because I got a lot of the Junior
Hey,
Cup guys,
Robert,
kids,
we
and all
love you.
them coming on. So yeah, I'm planning on doing. I'm gonna have them in groups. So it's gonna be groups of the Junior Cup kids all at one time, right? And then
It's gonna be awesome.
yeah, it's gonna be proper mega, right? And then I'm gonna have, of course, my man Action Jackson back on and everybody just to recap about the season and everything. But Robert Lackey, bro, I
Yes,
love
there
you.
he is.
Big shout out, my man. Yes, sir. And listen, I want to get Robert back on the podcast too, and yeah, be
He's
a
an
good
awesome
time.
dude. We actually have similar backgrounds. I was telling him we both grew up playing hockey since
That's
we were
right.
little. Yep.
So, did you guys ever play against each other?
Nope.
No.
I gave up hockey probably. See, I'm 58 now. Probably like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. That's a young man's sport. Trust me.
Yeah.
Now the wrist shots they have and the little snapshots they have. I mean, they flick the wrist and it's gone. You can't even see the puck. It's like I played where I actually had like a tree in your hand. It was a Northland stick, and it was made from like 3 trees. It was like 20 pounds, And then they went to the carbon fiber sticks, and then you could just change the tips on them, and you could have your tips made, and it's like the bikes, everything's custom.
Yeah.
The equipment's way better. I mean, I used to wear Lang skates back in the day, and they didn't have it. They're all metal. You know what I mean? And there's no the actual boot was leather. It wasn't like a hard shell. So if you had weak ankles, you were like skiing sideways.
Oh no. Yeah. No, man, that's one thing
Hey,
I've
Tasha.
never done. Yeah, Tosh, what is up? I love Tosh, man. I already
Yes,
said this, man.
Robert.
I love all the Bisons, man. They are proper
Amazing.
mega. Yes,
I
and
tell
like I
you,
said,
like I said,
anybody, I keep saying it. Listen, if you need a leather suit, gloves,
yes,
whatever, give them a big
Bison.
just go look them up or get in touch with me and I'll put you in touch with them.
Or me. Either way, I got
Yeah, or
measured, and
Shermdog.
over the
There
winter,
you
I'm
go.
having mine made.
Yep.
And
There you
we
go.
decided to do the pin the gas CFE suit. So yeah, getting the airbag one. So I can go out to Dustin, and then if I do crash, then it'll keep me safe, and I'll pop the airbag, and hopefully won't break anything.
You won't. Thank you, Tasha. You too.
But like I said, I know they didn't probably hear this part, but just to reiterate, those are the type of people in our sport. Like I said, if they had the last meal that they had in their motorhome, they would give it to you.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just the type of people they are.
They are.
Yeah, you just don't, like I said,
Absolutely.
you just don't find people like that. And they're so determined. I can't imagine living on a road and starting businesses and all the stress that they got to be under, and yet look at the attitude they bring.
Yeah.
And that's the winning attitude. I mean,
it is.
You just don't. It's something that's in you. It's not something you can be taught. It's just who you are.
It is.
No,
you're right. It really is.
Yeah,
they're proper. They are the way they just ever since we met. It's even just talking from the first conversation I had with Robert and all the way up to the podcast and even after the podcast. I mean, we're just it's just like with everybody I've reached out to, man, and I've met, man, we've all become friends and mates, and it's again, what an honor. It's been one hell of a ride. I'll say that.
And I think they've hooked up, if I'm not right, Robert, you can correct me, but I think they're hooking up with Venom. The under stuff.
Yep. They are collaborating.
So it's yeah.
Yep. And listen, so big shout out to Aliki. Yes, Aliki. She is amazing. V&M. Yes, go check her out for the best undersuits you guys can get in the business. 110%. She actually sent me a Johan. Listen, hang on. I got to get this. Hang on.
Yes, I got to see this one.
I hadn't had a chance to hang it up yet, but everybody, this is what I got from Aliki, right? It's Johannes Fogger, MotoGP riders, V&M underlayer sports suit, right? And then she signed it for me.
Sweet, dude.
And she's amazing. Dude, tell me how awesome this is. Dude, you guys check this out. That is proper mega. Yes, dude.
See, here's another thing about our sport that we talk about, right? look at all this stuff we have here. Look, that right there is Bobby's front clip from years and years ago off his when he won the championship. I mean, right there's probably all the champagne bottles and all the hats from Winter Circle. I mean, do you think if I went to a Yankees game, I'd get a jersey? Like they come up and just give me a jersey and they give me their hats, or if they their World Series hat or anything like that. No, none of those guys do that. These guys just constantly, give away gear, give away stuff, and it's just amazing.
It is. It's yeah. I mean, dude, Eli Colby, man, Eli Block. He man, what an amazing kid. When we met, I had him on the podcast again. We became good friends, and he told me he's going to bring me something to at Jersey, right? Because I've been asking everybody for something signed so I can take all this stuff down. And once I get enough to actually hang up, I don't want to have just like 1 or 2 or 3 pieces. I want to do the full thing. So anyway, he goes to his trailer, dude. And he pulls out this suit right here and signs it to me, man. I was just like, yeah, man, amazing, proper amazing.
You're right, Robert. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about how approachable all the riders are, and it is so underestimated because seriously, the cost you pay. So let's just say a 3-day ticket costs you. I think Amy paid $90 for 3 days.
Yeah, I was
$90 for 3 days. Seriously, I just went not too long ago. We went to a sprint car race, and to get in the pits just for the 3 or 4 hours I'm going to be there was over $100 just for the 3 or 4 hours. And that was it. I mean, the drivers don't even talk to you. I mean, it's not the same. It's just not the same. And, for the price that you pay and the accessibility that you have, and then like you going around with pin the gas and then having the CFE boys, hey, how many people have come by and said, hey, come in, hey, have a beer with us. We're not here, grab a beer. We got
awesome.
2 huge coolers. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
And they hang out in the tents and they just talk bikes,
That's it. The love of this.
Shout out to Chris, Nick, Timmer, and Miguel, because without those guys, it doesn't go around. I mean, those guys have always, I was the one that was kind of more in the pits and trying to get things going, and they were always the crazy ones. They're truly why CFE is the way it is.
Yeah, they were. I loved them. I loved every single one of the CFE boys. As soon as we met, it was just nothing but proper hugs and pints down the hatch for sure. 110%, man. It was like,
I remember you saying,
man, I love you. Yeah.
They're trying to give you at 7:00 in the morning. You're like, wait a second, it's 7:00. I was like, you better do it.
Yeah, the dude was like, nope, there it is. I was like, okay, bang, let's do it. Yeah. It was awesome. It was proper, man. Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. Dude, listen, Sean, again, thank you so much. He says, great podcast, well done. You have to go to Ireland and see the road races one day. Listen, it's on my bucket list. Obviously, I'm going back to Cadwell Park or Brands Hatch. Next time I come to the UK, I want to do 2 rounds of BSB, but 1 year I'm TT. TT is my favorite race event the whole year. Every year, it's absolutely hand down the TT races. So,
well, this is something we have to put on our bucket list then, because hopefully, we're going to be able to do this more and more. Me and you collaborate with.
This, we will for sure.
CFE, do more stuff, get more people out, do some live stuff, especially at the races. Which we'll talk about later. But we need to do this together as a bucket list.
We will.
Ironman TT.
Yep.
The 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll do it, man. I'm telling you, it's on my bucket list. My wife she agreed to go. My dad wants to go.
Well, I got Amy. Amy will go. So
yeah, we'll make it happen.
There's enough people out there that we could absolutely have connections, and figure things out, where to go, what to do. And Robert, that's true. You never do know some of the stories you hear.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He says,
we'll hook up.
He says, once I heard a debate between two superbike racers on which was a Ruckus or a Zuma. And it was while they were in line for the toilet at Brainerd. So you never know who you're going to run into and where. I love it.
Oh, so who was the winner? Which one, the Ruckus or the Zuma, Robert?
Zuma, come on, please. Whatever.
That's awesome. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. That's awesome.
And they love this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The fans just, I tell you, of all the years we've been going, I really, there's only been a handful of times that there's been any issues ever with fans that I can ever think. It was left up for debate.
That's awesome.
No debate here, though. I think it was the Zuma. Just
there you
saying.
go. You guys heard it. It's the Zuma. Yeah. So I don't think man, it's been a long time since I rode any of them. You know what I want? I want to give me a little Honda Grom or a little Z125.
There you go. Ask Robert's got one.
Yep, and do like
Pretty
little
nice.
just do little like go out to little kart tracks, dude, because it's a fun like little track day, and it's cheap. Yeah, that's right. I was getting ready to put that up there, and it's just fun and it's cheap. You know, it's cheap way of riding on the track. You know,
well, that's how I get around town here. Actually, is on the Zuma. Believe it or not.
Yeah,
I mean, I get around town on it, and we just have fun with it.
Yeah, and good gas mileage.
Yeah, Ruckus is nice though.
You can stick some pints of beers up underneath the seat and be good to go.
Well, that's why I like the Zuma. It's basically it's a built-in cooler underneath the seat.
Oh, nice. There you go. Yep. He says, "Yep, get a Grom or a Z. Don't let Tasha ride it." Okay, listen, that's hilarious, right? But kind of like letting Jules ride it, right? You'll need clutch levers.
Well, I actually got to take it over to his motorhome in Daytona. I got to ride it over there, so it was the Grom's kind of fun. It is fun.
Yeah, man, they are. I've ridden the Grom. I really liked it. I thought it was awesome. Peter SF, big shout out to him, man. I need to chat with him soon because he's somebody I've been wanting to talk to for a while. So I'm gonna reach out to you, Peter, here in a little bit, and me and you gonna set up a video chat. But yeah, dude, listen, Moto America. So let's run through the list of all the winners we had in our class because Mark Sherman, we went through this. He's got it all written down. I don't actually have it written down, but Mark does. He's prepared.
Anyway, but so we know that Gagne won the Superbike, right? Again, there we go.
I crashed on
it. Yeah, a couple of years ago. Well, listen, I won't tell you how many times the Zumas have been down with the CFE guys.
So, right.
Then we know Chavi Forres won the Super Sport, which news too. You know, as Amy and I were leaving, we passed Chavi, and I just stopped to say, "Hey, congratulations on your season." And I said, "Are you coming back on the Superbike?" And he looked at me, and goes, "Nope, they don't have room." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I have a feeling he's going back to Spain, possibly. It sounds like they're going to keep Heron on that Superbike. So yeah. I don't know if he's going to continue on the Super Sport or if he's going to go. So, and then the S1000, the stock 1000 class was Hayden.
Yeah. Big shout out to Hayden.
Yeah. And now he did the double. He did the double because he also won the baggers.
Yes, he did. Proper season for him. Absolutely.
Yeah, big season for him. Big season. And then the Junior Cup went to your
the Lap Slayer, baby. What is up? Yeah, Avery. Big shout out to him, man. Listen, big shout out to him, his dad, dude, Ella, dude, Jamie, everybody. Like I said, all those kids come from Michael Carrera. Guys, don't write this down. SFL Mini GP. It's in Florida. Dude, what are you waiting on? All you got to do is register and show up. They got leathers, boots. They got all that stuff. So next thing you know, you might be the next Lap Slayer. But big shout out. You're right to all my peoples in Moto America, and especially all my ones in Junior Cup, man. You guys are
they're awesome.
I love all you kids. I love them. I love every single one of them and their parents. They're all I love them all, even Twins Cup, all of them. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. And then we got the Super Hooligans was Tyler O'Hara, right?
Big shout out to him. Yep.
And then we got the Superbike Cup, which went to Nolan Lampkin.
Yes, big. What's up, Nolan? Congratulations.
And then if he decides to quit racing, he can always play basketball.
Yeah, I mean, facts.
Pretty sure he's going to be able to dunk it. And then, of course, the Twins class again.
Blake Davis.
Went back
my man. Yep, my man. Dude, so Blake lives 45 minutes away from me here. He lives in Lynchburg. I'm in Roanoke. So I had a chat with him, too. I'm going to definitely get him on. I'm excited to talk. I'm excited. Listen, every single one of them are my favorite. But him being a Virginia boy, just like me, right? Yeah, it's gonna make it a little bit more special, right? It's and listen, big shout out to my man Jackson Blackman in the Twins Cup too.
Yeah.
he had a proper season. It didn't end well, but
Yeah.
he'll come back even stronger. And man, he's an amazing person. Him, his dad, all of them are. You know, like I said, I can go on down this whole list. Everybody in Moto America, I love all them guys that had such an amazing proper season. And
Yep.
yeah,
Especially
it's
Kayla Yakoff.
and big shout
Definitely
out
gotta
to
get her.
Kayla. Yes, and listen, I
Yeah,
finally got
she's
to
right
meet her
down the street
dad.
from here.
Yes.
Yeah. And David.
We need to get
Yep.
her on too, because her dad. And listen, I need to get a hat, man. I want that Kayla. Every time I went by the trailer, Dad told me to come by. They wasn't there, so I need to get me a Kayla hat so I can wear it for sure. Because I definitely wear it.
They even did the proper hats. They did the
Yes,
they even got
yes.
made by Richardson, so
Yep.
they did them
Yep.
pretty proper.
I need one of them.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, another one who people used to laugh at me when I used to tell them I think that she's going to do really, really well, and you know, they were like, "Oh, wait till she hits puberty and she's going to be, you know, whatever." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's built into her, her mentality, the person that she is, really determined. You know, that's why we had the CFE hat made in pink. So when she was up on the podium with the boys, they'd have to remember that was the girl that just beat you.
I love that pink hat too. I'm a fan of pink.
Yeah.
So
like I said, she's
big shout out to
awesome.
my man Daniel Parker. That's my mate. He's a rider mindset coach. He works with Fat Boy Finn. He just won the 400cc championship out there. Dude, listen, Daniel's an amazing guy. I hung out with him. I finally got to meet him. I did some Facebook Live videos with him earlier in the year, and finally getting to meet him was just man, it's just like we've been family forever. He's an amazing person. And big shout out to Finn winning your championship. And obviously you guys already know my man Cameron Frazier in the GP2 class. And again, my man Jake Marsh. Yeah, he had a proper season in the GP2 class too. Let's do it. Yes, dude. I'm so excited for all those guys. And man, even everybody here in Moto America, man, Kayla, all of them, they man, every single one of them had amazing. Josh Hayes, man. I mean, Josh is still doing it and getting it in, ain't he?
The hunter. Yeah. You know, it's so awesome that even the older guys the guys that are considered older are still doing it. And I love that. I love that. So obviously I'm going to have to get a rider coach before we go out to track days because I haven't been on track this year. So do you think he'd work with Fat Boy Shermdog?
I mean, of course he will. I'll listen, Daniel. I'll put you in touch with my mate here, Shermdog, and you guys can chat it up. And yeah, he's listen, he's proper. He really is. He's worked with a lot of people, and it's an honor to be his friend.
Yeah, I saw your podcast and your stuff with him, and yeah, you guys seem to hit it off really well. I've never met him, but it seems like he's a pretty awesome guy.
He is. He's him and his daughter, man. I love her too. She was so much fun. I had a great time. But anyway, yes, dude. Back to Moto America, man. Listen, it was a proper season. BSB was a proper season. Moto GP, right?
It just got turned on its head.
Yeah.
So that right. I don't know if for anyone that doesn't want to hear about it. Yeah, you might want to
cut it off. Right. But you know, you can come back in or listen to it on Spotify and all that. But I watched all of them. We won't talk about Moto 2 and Moto 3. We'll just keep it GP right now. But yeah, it was proper, man. Listen, I'm a huge fan of Jorge Martins and Marco Bezzecchi. Martin man, I told everybody he's going to be the one to watch for, and obviously he is. And he made a mistake, right? And I've heard got a lot of texts talking about, oh, Martin, he did it again, right? But Bagnai's been doing it, right? We all thought Bagnai would go over that same thing, and he's done that several times already this year, right? So,
but have you noticed one thing about everybody that makes comments about he did it again, he did this? I'm like, I don't see you in MotoGP on Prima Ducati.
Facts, right?
I don't open my mouth unless I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing these guys because I tell you what, they're in such a different league. It's crazy. Yeah. So you know what? I think tucked the front end there. It looked like
He did with
and
over a 3-second lead, I think it was, or 5. It was
yeah,
yeah.
and he knew. So he knew. I mean, when he
Yep,
got up, you could see him. He couldn't believe it. He was just
yep,
like unbelievable. But for Bagnai to come back from where he was and get past Vinales and Quadraro almost got by, but that Yamaha's really got some issues. And um, after the race, he said if they can't give me an M1 next season that can win, he's going to look for another ride.
yep.
So
He's
they've
gonna
got a
be out.
challenge to, you know, get
Step
more
up their
rides.
game, just
Yeah.
like Honda needs to do, right? Because we all know the other news, right? Marquez is
Well, you
Racing
knew that was
Ducati.
coming. I mean, he just
Yeah,
this is Sprex and stuff. He has never been the same, and they can only be with him for so long. Obviously, even though he gave him a lot of world championships, and but it's still a business. And I feel kind of bad for, believe it or not, Paul Espargaro. He just can't catch a break. I mean, he was doing well, and then he moved up into, but when he got up to Repsol, it seems like I don't know what happened.
well,
It
that's
just all went downhill from there.
Repsol's done that to. I mean, every rider but Marquez that's been on the bike. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah,
Anybody that
yeah,
gets on it, it does the same thing. Hence, we've seen the problem for a long time, right?
yeah, yeah.
But hopefully Honda will wake up, and man, there was a lot going into it. Because at first when I heard it, I was like, man, I really don't think Marquez will leave. He's still under contract, $24 million or whatever it is. And they've been together so long, I think he'll maybe just next year and then be out. And then as the season progressed and went on, I was like, you know what? I think he might actually leave Honda. And then I heard the rumor going around that he actually bought 51% of Grissini. And that was one of his way out of his contract, because in your contracts, you can't go from a factory team to another factory team to break your contract, but you can go from a factory team to a satellite team. So when there's smoke, there's fire, but there's always rumors going around, right? But I've heard that from several sources. So, yeah, there's a lot that went into it. I'm happy to see it.
Well, it's a way for him to stay in the sport, because I think that
It is.
without him doing that, he wasn't going to be. He didn't have a ride.
Well,
I mean,
KTM
they were going to get rid of him. I mean,
KTM wanted him. So from what I understand, KTM actually approached his manager and him, and that was the whole thing of them trying to get 2 more bikes on the grid, right? One for my man Baby Jeebus, which is Pedro Acosta, and then Marquez, right? But unfortunately, Carmela Espinal wouldn't have it. Hopefully that'll change, because I think it'd be a different dynamic, man. 6 KTM, 6 Ducatis, right?
yeah, but
Listen,
the cost of getting those bikes, I mean, it's astronomical for those
it
teams.
is.
I mean, I mean, I don't know. Throw Pedrosa in there. Look what he did on it. Oh my God.
Listen, and having producers show up like that and whoop up on everybody, especially the
Did you
factory
see that?
KTM boys, yeah. But
Well, look
listen,
at KTM and Aprilia. Look how
I
far
know
they've come.
they have,
It's
but
like
listen, they progress. But I just want to touch on Producer real quick, and this is why I think and believe that he succeeded so well at KTM. So if you guys notice, before Michelin come out with that new front tire several years ago, Danny was up there second, third, first all the time, right? When that new tire was introduced, he couldn't he couldn't ride it, right? Now fast forward it years later, right, that now they have a front tire that he can actually ride, and KTM actually listens to him, right? Unlike Honda. That, and if you ever go back through history and listen to anybody that's ever been a Repsol, Honda don't listen to you. You come in and
no,
say,
they
I
just
need
give you the
this, I
bike
need
and
that.
say it
They're
can
like,
do
yeah,
this, and
right. The
we know
engineers,
this bike can do it. You just have to do it.
just ride it, right? So
That's not how human beings work. But yeah,
no,
you're
it's
right.
not. So, but then he goes to KTM, they listen to him, and now he's got a front tire he can ride, and he loves it. Now look where he's at, right? I mean, hadn't raced properly in 6 years. It comes on, and yeah, dude, Jack Miller, Brad Bender, I love you guys, man.
Bender had a little problem this
Yeah,
race. I think he was playing bumper cars.
yeah,
Two
but
long lap
yeah,
penalties in one race. It's like,
and a lot of people don't understand that, man. People, they come out with different size tires with different compounds and carcasses, and some tires they get the max benefits, some of them can't. And if you're a front runner and you can't get it like Danny Perdosa did, I mean, there's no setup change on a motorcycle that's going to give you the lack of grip that a tire is supposed to give you. Period. So,
Yeah, that was a heck of a race. I gotta tell you. Oh,
dude, yes. So MotoGP was good. Man, Jorge, of course, he hit the
was
deck,
he
crashed out.
18 points behind now going into Phillip Island next weekend?
I think so, yeah. Or I think 8 points. Might be 8
8 points?
points. Yeah, I think it's 8 points. Man,
Okay.
I have to look. You know what,
I
guys?
thought it
I
was
have to
I
go
thought it
back
was a
and look.
14 point. Yeah,
No,
maybe you're
no,
right. Maybe
no.
you're right. Maybe
He
you're
had
right.
a 3 point lead, I think.
3 points. So maybe it
Yep.
is 8.
Yeah,
Okay.
going into this race and then wrecked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he that was a great race. See, man, Vinales, God, I wanted him to win. I want to see Vinales win on the Aprilia.
Well, he would have set a record. They said because he would
Yeah,
have won on 3 different manufacturers.
you know, one of the few
So,
riders to do it. So I would love to.
well, I think he would have been the only rider to do it. I think they said.
Well,
I could be
Rossi
wrong, but I thought that's what they said.
went on an Aprilia, a Honda, and a Yamaha,
Oh, that's
right?
right. He did.
Yeah,
He did.
yeah.
Yeah. So he would
So
have tied it. Yeah.
yeah, it
And he
would have
did.
been
He couldn't do it on the Ducati.
it's very well, but again, back then, people listen. Everybody knows I'm a huge Ross fan. He's the goat to me. He's the greatest of all time. The reason why he didn't make it on the Ducati, it's like why everybody else didn't make it on the Ducati. They were back then a lot like HRC, so Stoner could show up and whoop everybody's ass on it, so therefore it's okay, right?
Right. Right.
We shouldn't adapt the bike to you. You need to adapt yourself to our bike. That's Honda's mentality too, right? So Ducati's not like that anymore since GG come in, and now it's all changed. Obviously, everybody can see, but yeah, same thing. They wouldn't listen to Rossi, Jeremy Burgess, and none of his team. Therefore, you know, um, again, it's hard to change your riding style for one particular machine, knowing you're not in love with that particular motorcycle, so it's hard for you to get in bed with her and dance, so to speak, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's yeah, man. But
A little drama there, huh?
a little bit, right? Yeah. Man, it was awesome though. It's a great race today, really was.
It
I
was.
love to see the championships come down to where it's last race, winner take all, or if I got to stay in front of him or blah blah blah. But at least have the two riders be really close together, not one, a second and a half ahead or whatever. It's
Yeah.
and then you kind of pray for a mistake, not to see somebody crash, but you want it to close back up and then want it to be, the Colin Edwards and Troy Bayliss last lap, Amolia 2002, right? That type, yeah, Tommy Hill, John Hopkins, BSB, right? Brands Hatch 2011, and today, with Tommy Birdwell, man. That's what I should have wore is my Birdwell shirt, man, because I got one when I was out there, and then I also got some Peter Hickman merch and B-Wiser Ducati and all that good stuff. But man,
Hickman,
it was
what a guy,
dude. So
isn't
Peter
it,
Hickman is amazing.
Isn't it amazing how like someone could go to be a record holder at Isle of Man, and then doesn't do as well on the tracks. It's like I'm thinking that Isle of Man is such another level up from the track. Like in my mind, I would think people that would go super fast on the track because you have some runoff, you have some other things there.
Yeah, that comfort zone.
And yet at Isle of Man, you can't have a brain fart. I mean,
Well,
you're going, and I don't think people sometimes when I talk to people, I'm like, do you realize that they're on that bike for almost 2 hours, without a brain fart? I mean, they're doing
facts. 37 and a half miles each lap.
Yeah, was it 4 laps?
6 laps.
6 laps, yeah. Yeah, and I'm thinking, and you can't just hiccup. You can't just say, okay, I'm tired and I'm hiccuped up, have a hiccup, and yeah, it's almost insane that the brain can keep concentrated that long.
It's
at that speed.
Them guys at the TT, that level, they're wired different than closed course road racing guys, right? But if we go back in the past and look at, throughout history of the TT, there's very few riders that can do both from TT and transition into short circuits. Don't get me wrong. That's something I'm gonna ask Peter Hickman about when we have our chat. going in all that. But here recently, they've been trying to bridge the gap, like Davey Todd too, right? He races in BSB. He wants to be a
Love
short
Davey
circuit
Todd.
champion. I do too. He wants to be a short circuit championship too, as well as win at the TT, because that's a prestige achievement that nobody's really accomplished, right?
Right, you're either one or the other.
Yeah.
It's not usually both, because it does take two different mental minds.
Yeah, they're definitely wired different, Mark, dude, for sure. It's yeah, to me it's like the TT riders, they feel comfortable on those short spaces and being on public roads, right? They for some reason they just gel with it, right? Whereas us normal mortals, right? When we get on a racetrack, and it's 10, 12, 15 feet wide, our comfort zone's huge. So we feel more comfortable going at speed, right? So if we go from there to a short, narrow track that this wide, right, and on an actual public road with lamppost and all that good stuff that goes along with it, yeah, it's I ain't got.
I couldn't
Listen,
do it. I would
I
not. My brain doesn't work like that, and I'm smart
mine
enough to
neither.
know my brain doesn't work like that.
Right.
What's
I would
kept
do
me
a lap
alive all
of it,
these
but
years is like, I know my limits, and I don't try
right,
to think I could do something that I really can't do, and then end
that's
up in a
true.
box. My plays,
Right,
I like to enjoy my life and enjoy racing, and I have to check that ego and say, okay, you think you can do it, you really can't. So at some point, you're like, okay, um, but yeah, it's insane. Now, I've heard rumors. I want to, someone, maybe Daniel can tell us if that's true, that sometimes they would have to breathalyze the riders before the race because they might have a pint before they went out.
oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Because I
So
know for a fact, I've heard stories like when they come off the course or something, they go to the pub and someone's like, so that would actually bode well. CFE really should be out there to help them. So when they do get off the course, we'd have
we got
refreshments
the
for them.
pints, yeah,
We'd
yeah,
have
for
the pints.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they don't obviously they don't drink before the race, but afterwards, yeah, it's party town for sure. Daniel Parker, what's up, mate? Yeah. Um, yeah, I always get a breath test before we road race. Okay, yeah. Then
So I've heard that. And
yeah, Sean, thank you. Yes, they always get a breath test for their road race, which is smart. Yeah.
okay, so good. Yeah, that's awesome, because I did hear that, and I was like, that'd be like sponsored by CFE.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Come on. We got the pints after the
We're in
race. Let's
trouble
get
if we
it.
had got a breath test.
Oh yeah, we'd all been in trouble at Jersey for sure. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's
Well, as cold as it was, they had to keep the heat in.
that they
I
did
mean, it was pretty cold,
was.
and they're lucky the CFE pool wasn't open or it wasn't full enough.
Otherwise, we'd have had somebody jump in that thing.
Pretty sure. Yeah, there would have been a bet somewhere, and somebody would have lost, and people had to go swimming.
They had to get in a slime bucket.
Yeah,
that's what it is. A slime bucket.
people still talk about that
Do they really?
to this day. Yeah,
That's
Cam
awesome.
still remembers it. There's people still bring it up to us.
Why don't you tell all the listeners the story?
So I don't know if it was Nick or Chris. So just a little background. So Nick has always been the real crazy one. He has all the passion, and I mean we all do, but Nick always has it at another level. I mean, he used to run up on the podiums and kiss boots, or they put something in the boot, he'd drink it, or and then Chris is the guy that names everybody. Gave Bazooka Joe his nickname. He's done a couple riders that way, and so I'm not sure who made the bet with Bobier that if he won the race, they would go swimming in the swamp, which where we set up in Jersey is in turn 5, and there's a big retention pond
To
there,
the
and it's
left.
really nasty looking. So we call it the CFE pool, and it just happened to be filled up, so it had to rain pretty heavy, because that day, even with all the rain and that storm that came through, it didn't fill up that much. But this was pretty full, and they made a bet that if he won the race, then they would go swimming, and so so he won the race. So they lost the bet. They had and they were all wearing Brandon Posh ducky shorts, because Brandon Posh wears
The
ducky shorts.
duckies,
So
yeah.
everyone got these ducky shorts, and I believe Dean was there, his dad, and So Cam came down on the scooter and we filmed it, and yeah, they all went down there. It was Nick, Tim, and Chris, and went in and went like paddling halfway across, came back, and yeah, you want to talk about stink though afterwards. Oh my god, it was horrible. I think we had to hose them off somewhere because I know they couldn't get in the van afterwards.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
pretty
Right.
bad.
And get
Yeah, they're
it.
pretty right.
Have a proper shower then, man. So listen, dude. What is up, Max Hall, mate? What is going on? He's a buddy of mine that races over there in BSB, man. Listen,
Well, I'm great to have him on here.
yes. He so listen, me and him are gonna have a proper chat soon. And yeah, you listen, when I say I'm gonna have a chat with somebody, you guys already know what's gonna happen. So yeah.
Well, I hear you got some big names coming up. We won't display it, but I'm sure you got some
I do.
pretty big names coming.
And listen, I want to talk about Brandon Posh, man. So
Awesome guy.
Dude, Brandon is super proper. We had our chat at Jersey, but we're gonna set up another one. But man, listen, what a story coming back from injury, right, and then getting the M4, and man, he had a mega season, and he didn't even race the whole season with M4.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that his season went well and went good, and I'm anxious to see what he's going to do next year. I'm not sure if he's going to be with M4 or not, but I would assume he would. I'm sure somebody probably knows, but I don't know 110%. So
yeah,
And then Kayla, obviously, she did proper in the 600 class, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She's going to be. And Michaela, listen, Michaela Moore.
Michaela
right?
Moore.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. We're going to have
I would love to see those two go at it.
Me too, man.
They're both in that same mental league, like, yeah, they're that's going to be a good battle one day. That's coming.
Yeah.
So what's the rumors I hear about Tytler's possibly not coming back? Is that I've heard that's in the rumor mill. I mean, I really hope that's not true because you've got some serious riders on those teams, and they help out. They help out. Like Stefano Mesa and
Cam Bobier,
right?
DJ Jacobson, and my man
names.
Corey Alexander. I mean, dude, the list goes up. Which is big shout out to Corey Alexander, man. He's another one. Him and James Rispoli have their own podcast. Big shout out to them guys.
Rispoli is a character. That guy is so funny.
Again, stay tuned. But yeah, it's proper, bro. It's yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, those guys are characters. I tell you what,
they are. They're yeah, super characters. But going back to Michaela, man, and her, I would love to see them two battle out, whether it's Twin Cups, Junior Cup.
I think eventually you'll see that down the road. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't care if it was on 50s, right? Z50s or whatever, Zumas, right? Yeah, whatever, dude.
I mean, hey, we can get that set up next year. I mean, we got Zumas. I mean, we can set that up.
Yeah, right. Let's do it. We'll do it for sure. But yeah, it's them two are
they need a scooter class like they have. You see those scooters over there in Europe racing on the track?
Is that not crazy?
It's funny as heck.
Dude, that's so crazy. And I'm sure they fucking all ass. Excuse me for my French, but I'm sure they do.
I just watched videos of it. It is pretty funny though. Yeah. It'd be fun though.
Oh, I'd do it. Yeah, I'd do it for sure. Absolutely. I'd jump
guys, we did the go-karts this year.
Yeah, that's so at Jersey, can you ride go-karts there too at the Jersey track?
We did it at Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Pittsburgh has a pretty cool track. And yeah, I think I got bumped. I went around a few times backwards. Spun out. Yeah,
I need to come to Pittsburgh, man. I'm going to.
They're not doing Pittsburgh anymore. Pittsburgh's off the schedule. Yeah,
and then I took Pittsburgh, and then took my beloved VIR. I mean, dude, what's next?
Yeah,
man?
well, Mid Ohio's in now, so.
Yeah, I know the old proper school racetrack, that one, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so listen, going back to Tyler's, man, I heard the same rumors. I heard it. Listen, I've been hearing a lot of rumors about why Tyler's is pulling out and what's behind it and blah, 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 blah. I don't know 110% truth of what's really going on. So I can't say too much on it because honestly, I don't know. And I don't want to lie, right? And make some bullshit. But what I will say is that, man, I would hate to see a big team player like that leave because we already don't have a whole lot of players in our sport.
That would hurt the sport.
It would, but there's rumors of a new Ducati team coming in, but man, I hope Tyler finds a way or whatever's going on with that. I hope it's just a rumor.
Yeah.
I
if
heard
there's an issue, maybe they can get it fixed and
stay right. Same thing. I also heard Honda's coming in back to racing in Moto America again. Listen, all this is subjective. I don't know 110% if it's actual truth.
Right.
The stuff that I've been
Just
hearing, and so, but where there's smoke, there's fire. But we don't know how big the fire is actually going to be. But yeah, it's our sport needs to be bigger. Over there in almost in a lot of other road racing organizations, they actually have factory racing teams in their sport. Where here in Moto America, we don't. Right? We have
factory like Yamaha, Ducati. That's pretty much
But I'm talking about. Go ahead. I was going to say, I'm talking about full-fledged factory 110% support like we used to have, like they have in other classes right now, right? We don't have that. That's
makes me wonder. That's the problem with America, though. See, because here, the problem. So in Europe, you are you're a soccer fan or you're a motorsports fan, okay?
Which I'm both.
Here we have the NFL, we have the NCAA, we got football both sides, right? We got hockey, we've got basketball, we've got car racing. We've got soccer. We got so many other sports that people look at.
John Deere tractor racing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ESP, the Ocho, ping pong or whatever it is. But yeah, so the thing is, we compete against all these other sports where they don't compete with that many sports over there. They don't play our American football. They play the English football, but so you're competing against all this other stuff, and a lot of kids. So your pool of talent, people want to play baseball, want to play football. They're not all going into motorsports, and then makes me wonder about Motor America. So this is the second year they haven't had the banquet.
Yeah,
are they hurting? Yeah. Are they going to be around? I really do hope, but I mean, it costs a lot of money to keep this thing going.
It does. That's why, Mark, dude, we need to team up CFE and get other people on board. Man, we need to try to bring some outside sponsorships.
And pin the gas, and
we will 110%.
Take this thing to the moon.
Yep.
I mean, we'll ride it till it sinks, and then we'll still ride it. So.
That's right, and we'll still ride it. Also with working with CFE, also everybody already knows I work with FSL Mini, Michael Carrera, which over here and then over there in Europe, I got all my mates out there, right? Jake Marsh, Max. There's Cameron Fraser. There's a lot of those guys. My man Martin from the Clothing Kings, man, he is. I love them guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how all that stuff turns out.
I know. I can't wait to get it.
For you to get that hook up there. Yeah.
Listen, great. And dude, to actually make it on a BSB, and I'm a very humble guy. Even when you meet me, I'm the same as always, right? I don't.
100%.
I don't brag. Yeah, I don't brag on whatever or this or that or achievements or anything like that, right? I might, as far as like a PlayStation game, but in real life, I don't. I know them. I can, blah blah blah.
No, and then that's the cool thing about the CFE guys. The same way. You're just who we are. When you see us here or there, it's the same thing.
That's it. Change. It don't.
There's nothing to brag about.
Right? Absolutely, but. What I was trying to hint at was, man, what an honor it was to be in BSB and make it Jake Marsh and his dad Peter and his whole team to be on their team shirts, their hats, and on the race bike. It was I never dreamed.
This is why they love you. Years. This is the point I was telling you how we talked about things, and doing a real podcast and not just about what is it like to go and turn forward and trail break. I mean, what I mean, but like get to the people. That's what people really want to know. And like the real person, not the person has to go on and do this kind of a interview. They have to say a certain thing. They have to look a certain way because their sponsors want you to say this or say that. You can't say anything.
It creeps that up.
But you being you, and just like us, we can just kind of let things fly. And well, I like Dustin Coiner a lot.
Yeah.
Like Dustin Coiner told me when I first met him, you're gonna like me or you're gonna hate me, one or the other. It's not gonna be. There's no in the middle, because
Middle.
he just
Yeah.
says I let it go, and I said, but that's what I really like,
Yeah.
because when you say something, I know where it's coming from. You're
Yeah.
not BSing people. You know
Mm-mm.
what I mean? You know,
I do.
um,
I love
and
it.
that's what has. That's great. That's what it has to be like today, especially in today's world.
I love you, Mark, Sherman, and CFE. You don't even know, man. I love this sport. I love all you guys. You guys
I
are
know, but
freaking
because
mega,
we're so
man.
humble, and I mean, like I said, people when they first saw CFE didn't get us,
Yeah.
and they didn't know what we were about. And I granted, like the shirts, they thought we were a race team, and so, but then they started to find out who we were, and then then you saw us, and then you came in with your podcast, and I
Yeah.
remember, like I said, when you first came in, we had that talk,
Yeah.
and
We did.
I was like, yeah, you're gonna go, because you're just humble, and people like how we are, the CFE guys, and you, and a lot of the fans were fans,
Yeah.
right? And we're just so passionate about the sport. We love the sport, and when people see if it's real, you know what I mean? Like they see your passion, they
No,
see the
they feel
excitement.
the energy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sometimes people like here in the states have a hard time with energy.
They
I don't
do.
know why,
Yeah.
but that's why I said when you went over there, I said it's gonna be different,
Yeah.
because you imagine all of us being over there,
Oh, it'd be, yeah.
they'd be like,
It was but listen, the thing that I heard, man, I got so many people from BSB that I chatted to, and that I invited on, and 99.9% of them's coming on. I just got to sit down and say there's a lot that goes on with setting up the time schedules and all that. But man,
it's a lot of
everybody
work.
was so proper that when I met them, like this is how I did it. I walk up to everybody just like I do with Motor Motorcar. I'm like, hi, I'm Simcoe from Pin the Gas Podcast. What an honor it is to meet you. I know about you, blah, 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 blah. And they're just like, they're like, oh my God, your energy is just like crazy, right? And you're a breath of fresh air. That's what I kept hearing all the time with them out there. It was,
You know why?
yes.
Because you are honored. You like a lot
Yeah,
of
I
fans that come
am.
in there and they act like they've been on the track, and they're so much better than these guys, and they're going to give them pointers, and I'm thinking, oh my God, like that's what these guys do. I mean, I'll go up to Stefan Mason and go, oh yeah, I would have taken that turn differently. I would have,
Right, right, right.
whatever. I'm just happy that we're fans. Like we can be there, and whatever we can do to support the sport. That's what CFE's always been about. And like you said, the kids, being able to give kids access to things that they can't get, like get them over the fence at the winter circle. We were doing that. We were able to get the kids inside winter circle, not just on that side of the fence.
On the inside,
Like
yep.
2 years ago, we had a few kids, but one girl, she got decked out with everything. I mean, they're giving her all kinds of stuff, and that's what we're all about. That's what we really want to do. Getting those kids that are standing there and they're all like, wow, these guys are bigger than life. And then taking them up over and let's bring them in. Stay in the corner, keep it safe, but that they're there and that
Up and close.
they'll never forget
Never
it.
forget it. Never.
And that's the whole thing that CFE is all about, and yes, do we have a lot of fun and we just like to have fun with people? Absolutely. That's what it's really about. It's
It is.
really simple. It's just about forgetting about life, going for that 3-day weekend and just forget about everything and leave all your worries behind and let's have fun,
That's it.
because believe me, the world's stressful enough in
It
today's
is.
society,
It
and
is.
everybody's got stuff. And, we just like to say, hey, come have a beer, have a soda, get something to eat. Let's talk racing. Let's talk, whatever your passion's about, and well, you see under the tent how many people come in there,
Oh yeah.
they love coming by and saying hi. Because there's no agenda on our side. We just want to help them. We just want to make sure, we love watching them and supporting them, and that's just like you.
Yeah,
It's that
absolutely.
passion. When you see real passion, it's a fact, it definitely translates to them, because only they know when people walk up to them and talk things, they know if this guy's for real or not. You know what I mean? And like I said, we have such great riders in our paddock. It was Matt Skulls, who I'll have to send you some pictures of when Matt first started. in pictures with him back in the day.
Matty
And then
Sculpt, big shout out.
I didn't tell you this. So Trig Westby, he named us, right? And so Trig, I took a picture with him and Amy because Trig has always been the guy that to me has a special place because of all the stuff that he's been through, and that he still continued. To me, what a strong guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he always gets a little emotional when I take a picture with him, and he's like, "Why would you want a picture with me?" You know what I mean? Well, I remember I had a shirt, and I had it signed by I had a crew shirt, and I had it signed by all the Yamaha champions that have won a championship. And I went to him. I said, "Trig, I need you to sign this shirt." And he actually started tearing up. And he said, you're the first person that ever asked me for an autograph."
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I would love to talk to him. We need to get him on.
Yeah, Trig, he is such a character.
Yeah. We need to get him on.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's one of the first people that actually used to come over and have a beer. Or he'd come over and he just hang out. We're like, God, this guy owns the team. Like, this guy's like, he's coming to hang out. We were blown away. We're like,
right.
We're just people off the street.
We're just fans. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's this, we looked at a guy that's successful, has his team, and yeah, he would just come over, and that's how the whole relationship started.
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, dude. Big shout out to the whole Westby team. They've been, and Matty Scults, man. So Matty's been with that team for how many years now? Yeah, I was gonna say he's like the only one in the paddock that's been with the same team forever, right? Which is brilliant. I think that it shows the type of bond and relationship that they have.
And he's got
which
good.
Is rare.
He's got a good stuff. He's got with his wife now, and now she's here. So and then his parents, who are amazing. Amy actually got to sit and talk with them quite a bit in the garage. Nice. And they're always amazing. And it was great too. Everyone talking to Amy, and she got to meet a lot of people for first time in Pittsburgh and then in Jersey, and yeah, it was pretty amazing. It's nice to see people really engaged her, and she's engaging and likes to talk to people. So it was great that they kind of brought her into the fold, and yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely super amazing, right? It's again, it's what our sport's about, right? That's somebody else I talked to too. It was Scults. I was like, Scults, man, I need to get you on. He told me to hit him up on Insta, so I gotta hit him.
All those guys will do it. All those guys will do it. I'm telling you that you got so much to pick from in our paddock. You know what I mean? And like I said, I mean, your podcast is gonna go like mega. Like it's. Yeah,
appreciate it.
I knew it when you first started, and you started with your passion and how we had that discussion, and it was I knew right away. It's just something like when things are going to it's just a feeling you have, and how could it not? You've put a lot of effort into it, and dude, you've really boom. Now you got Now you got the new logo, which is unbelievable.
Listen, big shout out to Rick Glover on that, man. His son Cooper, he races in the SFL Mini GP2. Rick Glover, we become really good friends. Of course, I do with everybody, right? But we were chatting one day. I forgot exactly how it come up, and he asked me about my logo. I'm pretty sure, again, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure he asked me about the old logo, and I was like, man, honestly, I hate it, because I did not like the logo at all. I was like, we want to change it. He's like, well, I'll change it for you. And basically, I was just like, I want kind of like the old Kawasaki colors, right? The pink, the purple, the green, right? I wanted to pop, bam, stand out, right? And brilliant. I mean, yeah, he's amazing. But that's how that all come along. So again, Rick Glover, man, I love you.
Did an awesome job.
That proper mega job, right? And then Erica Wolf says, Nick took me to meet Matthew at Barber this season. I'm a huge fan of him. Yes, Erica, I am too.
See, and there you go, Nick again. That's just I mean, we don't talk about those guys too much they like to stay more in the background of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they don't like to do podcasts. But yeah,
But that's okay. We'll talk about them.
If we could ever get all 4 of them on there,
It would be a good time.
We'd have to put a rating on this, but might get
Right.
thrown off. We could get thrown off of YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Nah.
But nah, I'm just joking. They know that. But listen, I can't say it enough about those guys. You know, they're like my brothers. You know, I would do anything for those guys, and
absolutely,
some of the best people you'll ever meet in this world. 100%.
Yeah.
Along with yourself, obviously,
yeah,
as you know.
Yeah.
So
it's everybody again in our community is just yeah, super mega. You know, but you'll have them ones. You'll have those everywhere, but you know, we don't even include them or talk about them. So yeah. So listen, moving on to next year, man. I think next year Moto America is going to be. It's going to be different. I would love to see other people put on a bigger challenge and it be a closer championship, even though it was pretty close this year, right? Well, kind of in Moto America, but I want to see more teams, new bikes like Aprilia. We need HRC back, right? We need Triumph. I mean, we need a proper, you know,
yeah, it'd be nice. Honestly, it would be nice. It would be nice, and maybe some new tracks too. You know, make the season maybe a little bit longer. You know, I know we have problems, and I get so in Europe, I know all the tracks are pretty close, so it's not they don't have a ton of traveling. We're here, we're going from coast to coast, and that's a lot of money to get your bikes back and forth, and I get that. So we're kind of handcuffed by that a little bit, I think, but because it all comes down to money, you know, in the end, and. You know, but I think it's going to be awesome, and we'll start out with Daytona, which Amy and I will be there. So, you know, hopefully we get a lot more people there because I was a little disappointed in like Daytona show the people that showed up. There wasn't that many, and I'm telling you, like you can stay on top of the garages and you can get a pretty good view of the track, but it's a lot smaller. But the whole experience is just amazing. I mean, it's biker weekend, so like the whole front of the race complex out front in the parking lots is nothing but bikes and shows going on and tents. So like when it's not racing, you just walk underneath and go on outside, and you can enjoy all that stuff and come back in and watch the racing. And the paddock is all just pretty much in a row, you know. It's different than going to a regular race because it's in that big complex.
Yeah.
But wow, it's something you got to experience.
I would, dude. I want to try to make Daytona. I know for sure I'm making Atlanta, like I said earlier. But Atlanta's 100%. I'm gonna try to make Daytona. Maybe me, my dad, and Nikki and Rossi will just load up and go.
Oh yeah, I gotta say hi to your dad. He's awesome.
Yeah, my dad's proper, right?
I think he stood there going.
He's like, these guys are fucking crazy, right? No, yeah. But he told me, he's like, man, you introduced me to so many people, I can't remember nobody's name. I was like, you're good, dude. Just come on, let's go.
Well, I did tell him. I said that he's you know, we always tell Nick, you know, Nick is kind of a big deal, and so we passed it to you.
That's awesome.
And I said that, yeah, I said you took something and have made it what it is today. I mean, you know, and hey, congratulations, dude. I mean, it's just going to grow. Yeah. It's the enthusiasm, you know, it's the true passion for it. And, you know, that's what it takes to be successful. You got to have that passion, that burn for it, you know, because it does get rough. I mean, it does get rough doing it all the time. And it's, you know, but when you're passionate about it.
So big shout out to my man Northeast Jules, because obviously he's just as much as part of.
Yes, Jules, what's up?
Yep, Pendergast is I am. But man, to me, I just love doing it. It's not doing it all the time. To me, the biggest part of me was trying to figure out how to disconnect when I got home and spend time with my wife and my son, because I was always like, oh my God, I'm getting ready to talk to so-and-so. Like, you don't know how excited I am, you know? And then they're like, dude, you've been on the phone for like 3 hours. Like, it's time to, like, you know, sit down on the couch. Eat dinner. Let's do something, right? So once I got it figured out now, but You know what? I love all of it, Mark. I ain't even gonna lie. I love everything about podcasting. Like, I never thought in a million years that I would be podcasting, like, for sure. I mean, it was never even a thought. Even though I listen to podcasts, I just never thought in a million years that I would be sitting here doing this and talking to everybody. And I remember listening to the podcast saying, Mark, how the hell are they getting these guys on, and all this? And obviously I know now because I do it, but man, I love everything about it. I love reaching out to the guests. I love the pre-video chat. So people that don't know, I've never said this live on air before. What I do is I reach out to people. What an honor it is to have you on my podcast. They say, absolutely. I say, let's set up a video chat so we can sit here and talk in person, just like this, feel the vibes, talk about the same passion, love. Next thing I know, we're on for like an hour and it goes by like this, and then they're even more super excited. And then that way it's not two strangers talking. It's only one with Jules, right? Because sometimes he does do those, sometimes he don't. And then, yeah, that's how I do it, man. And I just like to be different than everybody else and reach out to them and talk to them face to face and have the laughs and the giggles and yeah, all that good stuff that goes along with it. Right. And in the passion and, yeah, but
so you're definitely different because you're just you,
Yeah. That's what I do.
It's like more when we're not on the podcast and we're talking like the other night. How long do we talk about guns for?
Yeah, right.
Pictures back and forth of all yours and all mine, and
awesome.
and a lot of the riders actually like shooting. So it's like I said, yeah, you got to do a podcast where we can talk about like that, like all the different type of guns people like to shoot, and it's just fun stuff, like stuff no one else is gonna talk about.
That's right. Everybody loves guns. Who don't? We're Americans. We should have guns, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the thing about Pennsylvania. You don't really see any problems here. Too many problems because everyone pretty much carries here. You know what I mean? It's a carry state. And
Nana wanted me to give you a kiss.
Okay.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
My mom said Nana could have came in here. My mom could have came in here and gave me a kiss.
Yeah,
that's
she
hilarious.
Come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ross, he's a cool kid. I tell you what, he has the confidence and wait till he's older.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna be in trouble for sure.
Yes, you are. He's definitely those girls will go after him. You're gonna have to keep him locked up.
I know that's right.
But his confidence and his
enthusiasm,
he's amazing. Yeah. But you know what? It's like you, but just a little reverse.
That's why I call him my mini me.
Yeah.
That's what I call him. That's my mini me.
And he's definitely confident. He'll come up and talk to you. And, a lot of kids that age don't have that confidence to come up and talk to somebody that they don't know.
Yeah. He'll do it too. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. He's out in that whole paddock.
Oh, yeah. He's running around talking to everybody, but that's what I love about him. I just, because when we get there, my mom and everybody's like, oh, you got to watch him 110%. I'm like, listen, you don't understand. Everybody knows Rossi. Like, and he's going to be with just like one or two people, or sometimes he might venture off by himself. But dude, everybody knows who Rossi is. They're not going to, let anything happen to him.
No, because everyone knows who. Yeah.
He runs around
a few times.
Yeah, by himself, riding a bike in the rain, getting just drenched, just having the time of his life. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
That was awesome for you guys to do that too.
Yeah, I love it, man, because it's something that he'll always. And I tell people, that the. Above all else, the main reason why I do this podcast is because at the end of the day, one day when I'm not here, Rossi's always got this to go back to and watch and listen to, and so yeah, that's he's my everything. So I spend a lot of time with him. So yeah,
I can tell he's your everything.
Yeah, he is.
I can still tell your dad's still in shock.
Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, he is. He was talking about that yesterday.
He was standing there thinking that he didn't realize just how popular you are. And I told him, I said, yeah, your son is very popular. He's going to walk through this paddock and people are going to know who he is because of the passion of the sport, and you just like a breath of fresh air, like they say, you come into this and
thank you.
There's no agenda. You're not doing this for whatever, because you're trying to get information on people or, you know what I mean? There's no, we just do it because we love it and we just want to have fun. We want people to relax, forget about their stuff. Let's just go have some fun, laugh about ourselves.
That's right.
Don't take ourselves too serious.
That's it. Have a couple pints.
Yeah. Life's super. Yeah, exactly. Life's really short. You gotta have fun.
You got to. quit taking things so serious too. Yeah,
I
for
know
sure.
everyone takes themselves so serious.
I know.
I always kind of laugh when I see it.
I do
I'm
too.
thinking, things kind of. I'll be honest. Some of the stuff that bugs me is like when, especially professional athletes or something, they just the sportsman stuff. It just tells you that they get angry and they start throwing stuff, and like a guy strikes out. Like, I don't know. So Amy's a huge Yankees fan. Like, I'm racing. Yankees and baseball are to her just what this is to me. So when we watch a baseball game, someone like slams their bat or throws their bat or breaks the bat, I'm thinking, really? Like, well, so I'm supposed to feel like, yeah, you're more angry because you struck out, and like now you're gonna show everybody I'm just angry. So is it a show?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, then you get a guy that hits all like Judge, strikes out. He's like, oh yeah, struck out. He walks off. He's not throwing stuff and doing whatever. You know what I mean? Acting like an idiot. So, but it's just,
it's part of the game, right? You'll have that in all series of things. I mean, we have it in road racing.
oh, we do, but it doesn't make you feel like, when I see it, I don't think, oh God, that guy's really angry now.
No.
I feel a lot worse for him now because he did
Yeah.
it. No, I feel like, dude, seriously, okay, you screwed up. But
Yeah, I don't
throwing your stuff around or yelling at other people, whatever.
It's not going to make it better, right? And then the team morale comes down, and it's like a lot of times when you see riders and you think that the team gel well, I tell people all the time, and you don't know what goes on behind that garage door and how the team atmosphere really is because you're not in it, right?
Right, because they put out, like, this is the whole point about what I say about
right,
us,
right.
Just who we are,
yeah.
you know what I mean? But yeah, they have to put out a certain
energy
people, energy, which I get. It's a business,
which
is unfortunate. It's more of a business now, and it's not like it used to be. Everything's more, you have to say the right thing or whatever. And why we talked the other night, how I said that I really liked the a lot of special forces guys that have come out now and do their podcasts, and I wish that more people could understand the mental way of how they think of being positive about things. Like, life isn't a fair deal.
No, it's not.
Everyone today is trying to make everything fair, right? And I said, but it's not a fair deal. And they're like, hey, listen, you may have a bigger hole to climb out of than some other buddies, but you know what? You better start climbing.
Yeah.
That's just facts.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look at anyone that's like a champion, that's the type of mindset that they have. They're not going to quit, but they're not going to sit there and be an idiot about it, while they're coming out. They it's all about having control and being mentally tough, and it's just, I don't know.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
I tell you, you want to read a good book, it's by David Goggins.
I read both of them. I listen to audiobooks. Okay, I listen to both of them. Yeah.
Well, the audiobook's better, and it's You Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah. Yep.
And hold on a second. So if people can see it, because it'll change your life. It will totally change how you think.
It's a proper book. It really is. Both of his.
But the audiobook's better because he
actually talks
reading, right? And he gives you some insight about what it actually was. But this is the book.
Yep.
And this is a guy who said it would never be a Navy SEAL, ever. Yep. And I'm telling you, you want a book that's going to change your life,
motivate you. Yep, that's it. 100%.
Yeah. And if that's anything in life. It's not just racing. It's just your life, whether it's relationships or it's how you deal with your job.
100%. Absolutely.
Which all comes back into why we do what we do.
That's it.
Right? It's
absolutely. Listen, big shout out to my man Jack Hammersley, man. He I don't know if you guys know who Jack is. He is he races in Moto E.
I do not know who he is.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I'm sorry, cool. Jack, but now I'm going to find out who you are.
Yep, Jack Hammersley, man, and his mom Dawn. She's real big into BSB. She knows everybody out there. Unfortunately,
Dawn Hammersley.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. This is her son, Facebook. Jack. Yeah. Okay. So Jack,
I know
her son,
she is because I follow all her stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I see all her pictures.
I unfortunately we didn't get to meet because I forgot what she told me or where she was. She wasn't there, but next time I go, I definitely want to meet them formally, right?
Okay, so that's her son. That's in Moto E.
Moto E, the video game. You know how they had the whole video game series championship and MotoGP. Yeah. Well, he races in that, and I'm pretty sure they had a race this weekend. Actually, need to go back. Sorry, Jack hadn't had a chance to Go back and
That's pretty amazing. If you
actually
do you
look
ever
at it.
watch those videos of them
Oh,
playing
dude,
that?
yeah, I watch them. Yeah,
I mean, they're
dude,
as serious as like them being like on the race.
on the
I mean,
track. Yeah,
they take that stuff serious.
it's a big deal. I mean, it's a huge
Yeah.
deal, man. And what an honor it is. So everybody stay tuned because Jack is coming up here shortly. Yeah, I can't wait to tell his
That'll
story.
be a lot of fun.
And
You
the
know
whole
where I
Moto
go.
E
I
championship.
crashed on the warm up lap.
Me too, right? So listen, I had this
I
conversation with
get
Jack.
you.
I actually need to message him my gamer tag so me and him can play together and he can give me some pointers and some tips so I can up my game. Of course, Jack, I already told you I'd never be on your level when it comes to playing that MotoGP game because you are just bro, if you watch these, it's amazing how fast these guys are on this video game. It's crazy. Dude, so like I was telling him I thought I got pretty good, right? I was like, yeah, I'm finally gonna go online and I'm gonna whoop up on everybody. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I humbled
I'm gonna
myself.
tell the boys now. Some of the boys are actually pretty good. I think Nick and I mean they do play video games. I think they're pretty good at some stuff. I don't know if it's MotoGP or it might be Call of Duty. I don't know, but
yeah, it's but it even takes talent to even go that fast on a video game. It's crazy. But yeah. Just want to say big shout out, Jack. I appreciate you watching, my man. But yeah, it's man, what an amazing year, awesome. Man. Obviously, it's not done. We still got World Superbike, MotoGP still going. So
there's changes coming in World Superbike too.
There's changes coming in MotoGP too in 2027.
Toprak's not going to be with Yamaha.
I know, right? He's going to go to BMW, and I think that
Gerloff's getting another. It's going to get Redding as his teammate. Baz is out, and Redding's coming in.
Man, listen, I'm a huge fan of Gerloff. You know, I'm a huge fan of everybody. I do too. Had a conversation with him in Texas. Yes, he's awesome. I want to get him on the podcast. I would love to have a conversation with Gerloff. But anyway, yes, I think that Johnny Ray will have less troubles adapting to the Yamaha than Toprak will have to the BMW.
I think I agree on that one.
Yeah. Just because the Yamaha is such a well-rounded, fine-tuned piece of equipment, right? Yeah, of course, every bike needs a little work on it, right? Because there's no such thing as a perfect motorcycle, right? So even if you ever heard, Valentino Rossi say, "Oh, it was the best race of my life," and this and that, there was still some type of gripe he had on that motorcycle on that day in certain corners. It was not 100% perfect.
Well, I think I told you just the other night. I said I saw this video. I forget who it was. It was an old rider back in the day. He was working on a bike, and the guy goes. The guy looks at him and he goes, "So, tell me what you think about the riders of today." He's like, and he goes, he's probably about my age. And he's like, he goes, "Well, why'd you do that?" He goes, "Well," he said, "Yeah, back in my day, if something went wrong, it was our fault. It was something I did." He said, "Today, it's all the bike's fault."
Yeah,
it's never the rider's fault.
Yeah, it's
never the rider.
It's not. Big shout out to my man, Sandler. U-Funk Sandler, that's his name, dude. He's awesome. I've had a couple chats with him too. He put a big old Top Rack 54. Yeah, Top Rack's that dude, man. I mean, it's like man, World Superbike's great. Everybody, man, I'm so tired of hearing people complain about Alvaro Bautista in the Ducati. It's like, look, dude, it's like people complain about Jake Gagne and Yamaha here, right? Listen, it's hard to beat a rider that gels so well with a team and a motorcycle. It's such a hard combination, and the margins are so tiny that it's hard to beat them, man. But man, I love to see the chess games, right? So Toprak's going to be on BMW. Listen, I think Toprak will win on the BMW. I've never said he wouldn't. I think that once he learns how to adapt his style and BMW adapt the bike,
I think it's going to be a tall order, but we'll see.
I think so too, but so everybody that sets up their bike that gets the best out of their tires on that day and feels the most comfortable is obviously going to win the race, right? But also riders also need to change their riding style a little bit to adapt to the bike, and the people that manufacturer that makes the bike needs to adapt that to the rider too as well in order for it to really gel and come together. If not, you're going to end up in a HRC Yamaha situation, like a.
Let me ask you this: would you be in favor of Motor America doing what BSB does, no electronics.
Man,
Now,
I would,
it would slow them down for sure,
yeah,
speed wise, but they'd be a lot closer.
I do. I
You're not gonna
think
have someone
that,
8 seconds out.
right,
They put them in a lot tighter, and then you'd really see the riders'
the
ability.
skill. Yeah, I
The
agree.
skills a lot. When you have to go to the old school traction control, yeah,
It's a
things will
big
change. Yeah,
difference.
I would love to see a race like that.
Me
Seriously,
too.
I would love to see, like, bring the old school back. Just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just to see what would happen.
No, for sure. Listen, I agree with that 110%.
I mean,
I'm
speed
in
doesn't
favor.
make it any more exciting
It
sometimes.
don't.
Speed
It
is
don't.
just speed. If someone's beating by 10 seconds, and you already know, this is probably the problem what happened with AMA when Matt Milan was here. No one wanted to go to the race anymore because they already knew he was going to win. So why spend the money? He's already going to win the race. You knew he was going to win the race, and usually it would be either Tommy Hayden would be second, or back then Aaron Yates, or whoever it was back then.
So real quick, big shout out to Aaron Yates and my man Ashton Yates.
Yeah.
Proper mega people, man. I love them guys, dude. Ashton was a lot of fun. Stay tuned again because he'll be back on. But yes, you're right, Mark. Back then it was different, right? So to answer your question, I would love them to see down tune a lot of electronics. Get rid of all the freaking stupid ass wings. Get rid of all the stupid ass ride height devices. The launch control, man. I'm iffy on that. And that's why I say that launch control got so good now. That's the reason why everybody, I don't know. But before I comment on that, let me think about that. But the aerodynamics, man, I just don't agree with all the aerodynamics. I think that, man, it took him 8 years to beat Jorge Lorenzo's track record with no aerodynamics, right? So how much better is aerodynamics really doing? Because it don't do shit for nobody on the street. I mean, really, right? It's for looks, but man, it's
I think the cars are different than bikes too. Cars, I
absolutely.
understand it's downforce because it's physics. It literally does suck them to the track. But when you got a bike that's out, first of all, the ground effects, there's no ground effect. One, the wings are up high, so they're not going to suck the bike to the track. It's not. People say, well, it makes the front end heavier. It'll drop the front end more, but then it also creates drag though. So then you got more horsepower to get over the drag that you're creating. And then you got to be careful too. I mean, you can create a lift too. I mean, just think if that thing gets bent a little bit, now you've created a lift instead of, downforce. But I think you're right. I think I would like to see, I'd rather see really close racing at 170 miles an hour than really, blow out at 180.
Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, it's pretty hard to tell the difference between 170 and 180 when you're watching it.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, they're still pretty fast.
Yeah.
But why Junior Cup was so much fun to watch? Because it's almost like a NASCAR race. They all had to draft. And it was like they were banging into each other. And it's like, oh, my God. They were fun to watch. And like why the Twins Cup's fun to watch. Because they're all tight in there and they're banging around and they're – that's
old school proper racing. Yeah,
that's what we like to see. Everybody
it.
likes to see them banging around, and you're not sure. Like, oh my God, like when Posh won the 200 coming from the fourth, you were like, oh, you can't believe it's
Here we go. Shoot. That's it. There he is.
Slingshot by. It's like, yeah, you remember all those races, not the ones that someone won 10 seconds ahead of whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're not even on TV anymore. Like the TV puts it back to the battle. So the guy that is up front, their sponsors aren't even getting looked at half the time because they're so far ahead. The TV is not going to just watch them anyway. So.
Yeah, no, you're right, 110% right. So yeah, listen, I'm not saying I hate electronics. We need some, but man, it's gotten to the point now to where it's like, dude, you're riding a robot, right? So I think a lot of our issue too going to make it in MotoGP or hell even going over to Europe is especially in GP, I'll just stick with that. Is that for one, we don't have any stiff chassis like proper race bikes that kids actually grow up to ride, right? Back in the day before all these electronics come in, that's why our flat track style works so well, going over there with the 500 smokers, right? And then when MotoGP come, we still transition to that really well too, until all this high tech electronics really come into play, right? Because now it's basically you're riding a PlayStation or an Xbox, whatever controller suits you the best, right? You got all these buttons and all you got, dude. Just go back and
maps, and
dude. Yes. So just go back and listen to our podcast with Ashley Gates, man, which is a proper dude. He's so fast, and that's one thing he said that he had the biggest time trying to get around was learning the electronics from a super stock to a full flown super bike. You got to remember this button twice, hit this once, and it sets this mode. And you're doing that all while you're trying to race, right? It's like, let's just, tone it down, right? Instead of having 5 million traction controls and anti-wheelies, let's have 4 or 6, and that's it, right? Same thing with engine braking and all that. Let it come down to the skill of the rider, which means Dunlop, you have to step up your game to make tires to suit the bikes, right? That we're using less electronics. I mean, I would assume anyway. That's something else I'd love to see, Mark, is a tire war in Moto America, man. Bring Pirelli, bring Bridgestone. Let's do it. Let's get it on.
Yeah,
I think that would help.
Yeah,
too.
Dunlop puts a hell of a lot of money in the Moto America, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure they
do. But yeah, I mean, now at Daytona they do that. They have other tire people.
They do.
So that's the thing. You can get those other tires at Daytona. That's another reason. Like I tell people, if you've been to a Moto America race, Daytona's like the whole other animal. It's not quite like going to a regular Moto America race. So you do feel like you're like at a different type of race, but it's pretty amazing. I thought it was pretty amazing.
You're in a Superdome, right? Superdome kind of atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just plus it's still cold out and you're down in the warm weather and
But dude, Daytona 200 is the one of the cream of the crop races here in America. Even dude, Michael Dunlop come and races at the 200, right? I mean,
he was there this last year,
right? That's how huge it is. Which man, dude, I'm a huge fan of the Dunlops, man. I'd love to meet Michael Dunlop. It'd be proper.
Well, if he comes to the 200 next year,
that's it, right? So yeah, man, man. Listen, dude, we're almost 2 hours into this.
Oh,
Mark.
I know it flew by.
It always goes by, man. So I'm gonna cut this here shortly, man, so I can go in here and hang out with the family. Yeah, spend some time with them and finish my laundry. Yes, I do my own laundry.
It is a football day too.
On my Bears. There you go. Okay, well, I've been watching. So I watched all the races. Like I said, you guys need to go check out. Keep an eye on YouTube for a BSB, man. Listen, you guys got to go back and watch that. It was freaking proper. And listen, Jake Marsh, man. I see he had an accident. I think he broke his ankle. Mate, I hope you recover well. We'll have this chat. I'll give you a call. But listen, but before I end this, I'm gonna give Mark Sherman the floor. So Mark, tell everybody how they can see CFE and get some info and all that good stuff. Of course, everybody knows we're gonna collab like I do with everybody else. So Mark Sherman and CFE will be on the podcast frequently. And shoot, me, him, and Jules, we might just start doing some of them together, man. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, so we'll make that happen, guys. So stay tuned. And Mark, is there anything you want to say?
Just an honor to be on here, like always. But just glad that we finally got to meet in person instead of talking all these months. And you're everything that I already knew you were. And just appreciate everything you're doing for the sport. I mean, it's just amazing. And your friendship is awesome. And to all the guys, all the other CFE guys, without them, it doesn't go anywhere, And just appreciate you and love the podcast. I think it's going to go big. It's already going big, but I think it's going to go much bigger.
Well, thank you, man. It's an honor. Everything you said, man. Like I said, I love you. I love CFE boys. I love all of them. It's an honor to be all your guys' friend and do this, and just to be able to do this for everybody, man. Like I said, I never thought in a million years I'd be podcasting and actually to where it's at, which it still blows my mind. But anyway, listen, everybody, what an honor it was to sit down with Mark, with CFE, and future we'll be working. You're going to see his beautiful face on here a lot more, put it to you like that. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thanks everybody for watching and listening. You guys know where to find us at. iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, blah, 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 all the good stuff. Please go like and subscribe. That's one thing I've never really said, but yeah, you guys go over there and hit those notification bells and like and subscribe, and all feedback's good, whether it's good or bad. I love you anyway, right? Because we all can't agree on everything all the time. Otherwise, this world would be boring. But yes, what a year. I can't wait for 2024. Racing's not done yet. Like I said, still World Superbike, MotoGP. Thank you for all my BSB people, man. I love all you guys. Proper season, proper year. List is too long to name you one by one, but you guys know who you are. And same thing in Moto America. Mark Sherman, Pin to Gas podcast. What a day. Dude, I loved
Awesome
it,
day.
dude. It was
Awesome way to
awesome,
start
man.
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, everybody,
Right.
until next time, I'm Christian Show Simcoe, my man Mark Shermdog Sherman with CFE. See you guys later.
See ya.